You might want to sit down for this because what I'm about to share could change how your pension is deposited into your bank account this July, and most people still don't know what's happening. Imagine waking up, opening your banking app, and seeing a higher balance than you expected. You'd probably assume it was a mistake or a banking error, but it's not. This time, it's real. HMRC has just confirmed a new set of rules around pension payments, and thousands of pensioners are about to receive more money than they've seen in months. But, and this is important, only those who meet certain conditions will receive that extra amount. And many people who are eligible won't even realize it until it's too late to claim. That's why I want to explain exactly what's happening, why it's happening now, and how you can make sure you don't miss out. Because when you hear how much money some pensioners are set to receive, you'll understand why this could be one of the most important months of the year. This is more than a policy update. What HMRC has announced is a major change in the way pensions are processed by banks. For thousands of people across the UK, this could mean a meaningful and timely boost to their income. Think for a moment about what an extra amount in your bank account could mean. It might allow you to take that weekend trip to visit family without worrying about your budget. It might be the help you need to cover those rising energy bills. Or it might simply be the comfort of knowing there's a little more there when you need it most. But this isn't random generosity from the government. These changes are coming after months of complaints and growing pressure to fix persistent issues with pension payments. Over the past year, many pensioners have faced problems, delays, errors, underpayments, and even missed adjustments. The pressure on HMRC to step in and resolve these has finally led to action. This July marks the start of something new. Updated banking rules from HMRC are being rolled out to not only ensure pensioners receive their payments on time, but also to include backdated amounts for anyone who was previously underpaid. And those backdated payments could be significant. Now, you may be wondering if this includes you or if it's limited to a few people. That's the critical question, and that's why it's so important to listen closely. These new rules are broad in scope, but they won't apply to everyone automatically. You need to meet specific criteria, and if you assume you're not included without checking, you could be leaving money on the table. So let's look at what's actually changing. First, HMRC has implemented a requirement for banks to prioritize pension payments through an updated verification system. In the past, some payments would get stuck or delayed due to internal bank processing. Under the new rules, those delays should disappear, giving you faster and more. The second change is perhaps the most important. Thousands of pensioners who were underpaid due to calculation errors will receive corrections in their July payments. If you've been shorted by even a small amount over the past few months, that money is now being tallied and will likely arrive as a lump sum in your July deposit. This could be especially meaningful for people receiving multiple benefits, such as the state pension and pension credit together, because these combinations are where many past errors occurred. But there's a catch. These updates won't apply automatically to everyone. If you've changed banks, moved home, or had any recent interruptions in your pension claim, you need to check your details. HMRC's system can only calculate based on the information it holds. If your details are incorrect or outdated, you may not receive what you're owed. And that's the part so many people overlook. Just because you haven't been told something is wrong doesn't mean everything is right. Many pensioners don't find out there was a problem until they notice no change in their payment, and by then, the deadline to correct it might have passed. Let me tell you a real story that shows how this is already affecting people. Just last week, a gentleman from Manchester received a letter from HMRC informing him that his payments had been undercalculated for the past 4 months due to a bank reporting error. He hadn't suspected anything, he assumed what he was receiving was correct. But now, his July payment will include all the missing amounts in one lump sum, and his payments will be corrected moving forward. That single correction added over £420 to his July income. If he hadn't opened that letter, or hadn't kept his details up to date, he might never have received that money. And that's the emotional core of this story, it's not just about the numbers. For many pensioners, every pound matters. It's not about luxuries. It's about heating in the winter, groceries on the table, and the ability to give a grandchild a birthday gift. These payments represent people's lives and livelihoods. That's why the change feels so hopeful. For once, the system is trying to work in your favor, not against you. But this isn't permanent, yet. HMRC has confirmed the new rules for July only. While there's discussion of making them standard going forward, right now this is a temporary fix. That's why you need to act quickly. If you wait, you may miss the processing window. So what should you do right now? First, log into your pension account or contact the pension service. Check that your bank details are 100% correct. Even if you haven't changed banks recently, a small error or typo could hold up your payment. Make sure any recent changes, like applying for pension credit, updating your address, or transitioning into retirement, are recorded properly. HMRC is calculating these payments based on. And even if you don't qualify for backdated payments, you still benefit. The updated system means payments should arrive faster and more reliably. No more wondering whether your money will show up days later than expected. That kind of certainty can make a big difference, especially if you're managing your household budget carefully every month. You might be wondering how much people are actually getting. While HMRC hasn't released official numbers, pension rights organizations say the payments vary. Some people are getting an extra £20 or £30, but others, particularly those who had incorrect mixed entitlement calculations, are receiving hundreds. But once again, this only applies if your information is correct and you're eligible. Here's something else to keep in mind: a staggering number of pensioners, more than 850,000 across the UK, are missing out on pension credit because they haven't applied. And that matters now more than ever. If you're eligible for pension credit and haven't claimed it, not only could you receive more money going forward, but you could also be entitled to backdated payments this July under the new rules. That could amount to hundreds or even thousands of pounds, money you didn't even realize you were missing out on. It's worth checking. Because sometimes what holds people back isn't the system, it's simply not knowing what they qualify for. And that's something we can fix by getting informed and taking action. There's also an emotional side to all this. For so many pensioners, this moment isn't just about receiving a larger sum. It's about dignity. It's about feeling seen and valued after years, even decades, of contributing to the country. That's why July feels different. After years of delays, cuts, and frustrating bureaucracy, pensioners are finally seeing a change that puts something back into their pockets. And the response has been inspiring. One woman from Birmingham said she finally felt heard when her corrected payment arrived early last month, and now she's waiting to see what July brings. For her, it's not about buying something new, it's about not having to choose between heating and food. That's the daily reality for so many, and it's why this change truly matters. Now, I want you to picture something. It's the first week of July. You get up, make yourself a cup of tea, and check your bank balance. And there it is, an extra £50, maybe £100, maybe more, just sitting in your account. You didn't have to fight for it. You didn't have to fill out endless forms or spend hours on the phone. It's just there, because the system finally worked the way it's supposed to. But to make that picture real, you need to act now. Don't wait until the end of the month when everyone else is talking about it. By then, it might be too late to get your information updated. Once you've received that payment, don't stop there. Share the news. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your family. Let people know what's happening. Too many pensioners miss out on payments they deserve simply because they didn't know they were eligible. You could be the reason someone else gets the help they need. And finally, here's something you might not know yet. There are serious discussions happening right now in government that suggest if this rollout goes smoothly in July, these new rules could become permanent. Not only that, they could lead to regular quarterly reviews of underpayments. That means that if you're ever owed money again, you wouldn't have to wait months or years for a correction. Adjustments could be made automatically every few months. That would completely transform how pensions are managed in this country. So not only could July bring you a much-needed financial boost, but it might also mark the start of a fairer, faster, more accurate pension system for everyone. Check your details, stay informed, and get ready, because this could be the month the system finally starts working for you.